Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am here today with you talking about terrible reviews that yarn companies and brands have received on Trustpilot. Trustpilot is a website where you can leave reviews of companies, brands, services, etc. And it's an absolute goldmine of hilarious reviews. You're going to love this one. I was halfway through recording and editing this video yesterday when we had a gigantic blackout. The blackout was caused by we don't know what yet. I live in Spain and all of Spain and Portugal was completely affected by this. There were no trains, the airports were just like in absolute chaos, even traffic lights weren't working. It was that level of power cut. It was really, really scary for a bit. We got our power back about 9:30 yesterday evening, thank goodness. So yeah, that was kind of frustrating as well because yeah, I was recording this video. I made loads and loads and loads of really cool edits and stuff on it, and I lost all my work because I'm a PC user. So if the power goes down, I don't have a battery that I can rely on like a little laptop. So anyway, all that aside, I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do, so everyone can see this video and I can get more views and make more beautiful videos for you. As always, I will be playing a game in the background, once again, Stardew Valley. I got some really nice messages from you guys after the last video saying that you really enjoyed having Stardew in the background. I mean, who doesn't? It's just a fantastic game. So enough of the waffling, let's get into the reviews and I hope you find them funny. Some of them are amazing. First one, poorly written pattern and difficult to work out what you need to do. Not a very full reply when I heard from them. Suggest they get an English knitter to look at pattern and advise on making it more user friendly. So bad patterns exist. Not everyone is good at writing patterns. We are dealing with a situation right now, I think post-pandemic, where lots of people just like learn how to knit or learn how to crochet and then suddenly start boshing out patterns without really having much experience in doing so. That's a topic for another video probably. I don't like the tone of this review. I don't think it's really necessary at all to say suggest they get an English knitter to look at pattern. Like English, I hope they mean English speaker, because that would be wrong, wouldn't it? Like, does being English mean that you're gonna, I don't know, I think they mean English speaker. I'm just going to assume that they mean English speaker. What I will say is that this brand I have worked with before. I do work with them still, and their level of English as a team is second to none. Like, they actually speak English a lot better than native English people I know. I'm not even joking. So I think this review smacks a little bit of xenophobia. That's not to say that all patterns released are absolutely fantastic, but I can talk only from my personal experience that these patterns, the patterns that are published on this platform, have really strict rules about the way they're written. They have to be written in a certain way. There's lots of guidelines, and they also get translated into different languages for you. So I don't know, maybe this person had a bad experience, but yeah, the xenophobia there, a little bit unnecessary I think, but hey, whatever. Next one coming up now, good delivery time. The only thing I had a problem with is that along with my order I received a small packet of plastic crystal light buttons. They were automatically added to my order at checkout and I could not remove them from the order. This is quite frustrating as I have no use for these and they really are just a waste. Please consider not adding things like this to future orders. Again, a topic. People have been talking about this a lot on social media, and some of us really like getting a little free gift. I like a little free gift if it's you know, within the context of what I've ordered. If I've ordered some yarn and I get a free mini yarn or I don't know, like a sample or some stitch markers, you know, that kind of stuff, that's brilliant. Also it makes sense because if you're a knitter or a crocheter, you're going to use the stitch markers, you're going to want to try out some new yarn, blah blah blah. But A lot of people feel very strongly that receiving free items are a waste. I've seen a lot of aggression about this, unnecessary aggression, but yes, once again, the times we live in, people really berating and leaving terrible reviews for small businesses saying, I did not ask for these stitch markers, I didn't ask for these buttons, or whatever it was. Okay, fine. They always say they're going to end up in the trash or in the rubbish. Like, really, you're going to throw them away? Why can't you just put them in a drawer somewhere or give them to someone? I find it kind of odd that people get so angry about receiving a nice little free gift. The fact is this: people will get irritated if you send a thing to a person that has a business card or a sticker. They don't like that. Then there are people who do like that. People will get annoyed if you send them a little free gift. Some people will get annoyed at you and leave you a bad review if you don't add a free gift. It's very, very difficult to navigate being a small business, and these are just sort of little toppings on what we have to deal with. I would say this to anyone who usually leaves bad reviews for receiving a business card or a free gift. By the way, there are actual people who get annoyed about receiving business cards. This is true. It's crazy for me. You can't please everybody in this world. Some people leaving reviews like this, really low, damaging reviews. Let's not forget that 1-star and 2-star reviews damage businesses. Do that if you've received terrible service, if the seller has been rude, if the item that you received is damaged or whatever. Like, absolutely, if you're not happy with the service you've received from a small business, go for it. Of course, that's why the reviews are there, and we need to maintain quality in our community, right? But if you're leaving a 1-star review or a 2-star review because you've received a small, well-intentioned free gift, I'm really sorry if this offends anyone, but give your head a wobble, love. Okay, time for the next one. This is one of my favourites. Very unhappy with the fact of being charged extra taxes. Like a yarn company can control tax. That's kind of okay. Already wrote to you a few times and have not received any answer. If you don't give me the attention I feel I deserve for being a good / faithful customer, I will consider not using your company again. What do you say to this, really? I mean, this person doesn't understand economics or the world, clearly. Yarn companies, any company, cannot control tariffs. Be aware of the date here, May 17th, 2021. We are talking sort of Brexit times, really. When Brexit happened, don't get me started on Brexit, by the way, a lot of people were surprised by customs charges. I receive things regularly from the UK, whether it's books to be reviewed or things like that. I work with a lot of UK based companies and they send me yarn for collaborations, etc. And I know now that I need to have 25 to 30 quid at home to give to the postman, because that's the way it is now, right? Brexit happened, very unfortunately. We have to roll with it and get on with it, and I have to pay extra. Please don't leave bad reviews because you've haven't watched the news enough or read the paper enough and don't understand what happened post-Brexit, because that's not the fault of the seller. That's on you, love. It really is on you. So I just don't understand these people. My order, it should state on the website that the items come from another country. It does. Tracking order here, not going to read that. Good morning. A month ago I placed the order. Your answer is always the same. I want a valid answer. The order is still in Denmark. Why? Please respond, but not with an automatic response. Do you want me to give a negative rating to your store? 4 question marks. I'm getting angry. Thanks. MT. Well, MT. What do we say here? Again, the date, June 17th, 2020. Deep pandemic times. Again, the audacity of people not understanding and not appreciating the absolute stress and chaos that the terrible COVID-19 pandemic caused everybody, online businesses included. Also, do you want me to give a negative rating to your store? That's what you've already done, MT. What can we call them? Michael Thomas? Hi, Michael. Um, I really think that a lot of human beings on this planet are very, very self-centered, and really, it's also saying that the order is still in the country where it was dispatched from. Yes, because there were lots of hold-ups in the postal system, private and public. So thank God your parcel wasn't lost, right? People need to learn a little bit more about patience, I feel. But yeah, given the tone of most of these reviews, I'm not surprised really. When I complain, I do not want automated emails. Okay, I want an answer. What? Bleating on about this virus is fine, but they seem to have plenty time to do the sales and marketing, but not to sort out their mistakes. Won't be back. X. What's the X for? Do you know what? I'm from the UK, and having lived abroad for a very long time now, I'm kind of looking at elements of my nationality that are kind of irritating. You don't have to be outside of your country to be annoyed by your country, by the way. I'm just saying, one of the things that irritates me the most is the XX, or the X like kiss. Not when it's done intentionally and meaningfully, no. But when you get messages, comments, reviews, whatever like this, and they like kind of hostile or passive aggressive or just outright rude, and they put an X, it's like, what? What are you doing? Anyway, whatever. That's fine. That's their business. Bleating on about the virus is fine, but they seem to have plenty of time to do the sales and marketing. Yeah, a lot of people still worked during coronavirus, myself included. Working from home, working in education, I was still able to give classes and tutoring during the pandemic, which was great, actually. Keeps you sane, kind of thing. So yeah, of course they were still doing their sales and marketing. Times were tough, and still are tough actually, for businesses during the pandemic and post-pandemic. Of course the company is still going to want to advertise their products and move on. Again, my third time using this word, I think, during this video. The audacity, the gall and the gumption of people who don't understand what the situation is for normal people and businesses during times of abject crisis just will never cease to amaze me, guys, really. Okay, next one. I love this. I get too many emails from you/the environment. Okay, right. You don't get emails from the environment. All right, I understand. Sorry, that was my bad. I get too many emails from you. Very annoying. Secondly, I wrote to you about the damaging effects of synthetic fibres on the environment. Okay, first thing, you can unsubscribe from email lists like newsletters and stuff. That's very easy to do. If you have a Gmail account, look at the top bar with the subject line for the email, and there's a little button that says unsubscribe. Click that, you're all good. I don't know what this word is. The shedding of microfibers when they are washed, which cause harm to fish in the sea and worms in the soil. These effects will harm humans too, and not too long ahead either. You have not responded. I asked you to stop promoting synthetic fibres in your yarns and stick to organic fibres such as linen, cotton and wool. Environmental concerns are valid and great. We should all be concerned about the environment at this point. It's a really, really important topic, and yeah, it's great to be passionate about that. We should all be passionate about that, actually. The problem here is this, the entitlement and demanding that a company changes its entire stock just to please you is really, really very, very entitled, I think. And please be aware, not the first time I've been ranting about this on this channel, that linen, cotton and wool are often way more expensive than artificial fibres. It's not an ideal situation. Nobody wants microfibres in the ocean. Nobody wants bad stuff to happen to the environment. Nobody wants that. Maybe some stupid people do, but wait, whatever. You can't demand that a company, does this. It's just foolish to me. If you're not happy with a company selling synthetic fibres, okay, it's your life. You spend your money how you want, right? Don't vote with your wallet. Vote with your cash. Don't shop with them anymore. But if you're constantly bombarding a company with emails asking them to change what they do, you're probably not going to get a satisfactory answer. Alright, this one is probably my favourite, and this lady is known as Grumpy Glenda. If it is a lady, I think it's a lady. The service you give is not something I'm used to. I have been shielding, sorry to hear that, and not able to come into a store. I am not impressed with email saying you are off on holiday or signing off with big hugs. We are not all young girls. All I want is to order my requirements for my hobbies. Okay, some companies have a very informal communication style. Some emails are very kind of happy, clappy, whatever. I know that can annoy people. Again, fine. That's just the way they operate. What I find hilarious and quite sad, big hugs. We are not all young girls. Oh, I'm sorry, Glenda. I really hope that you get a nice hug at some point, because you don't have to be a young girl to appreciate a good hug. I really hope that this person is in a better place now, and maybe shielding made them feel a bit unhappy, and that's why they left this review. But Glenda, I hope you receive a massive hug today. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on from poor old Glenn. Excellent service, very good yarn, full, very good service. Sorry, I know that was a cut-off word, but it just made me laugh. 1 star. 1 star for very good service. The amount of people who don't understand how to use the star rating system is for me, very, very strange and very unusual. Like, it's the 21st century. These kind of rating functionalities have been around for a very long time, and still people are not understanding how it works. I think we've all been through this. I've been through this, not with a 1 or 2 or 3 star, thank God, luckily, yet. But I did get a 4 star once, and the person gave me a rave review. It's almost like these people are sort of like, yes, I could give you 5 stars, but I'm only going to give you 4 because it wasn't just quite good enough. You don't get a 5 star out of me easily. It's very that vibes. Again, 1 star, 2 star ratings can be very harmful to small businesses. Please pay attention. Please make sure you understand the stars. Please. It's very simple. Get someone to help you with it. So next one is one that really makes me go crazy in a bad way. Could be my fault, but I could not download the pattern. Well, here's a newsflash for you, Maureen. It is your fault that you couldn't download the pattern. I know this because this was a review on a website that I again have patterns uploaded on. There are very, very clear instructions as to how to download patterns, and you also would have received an email. These kind of reviews are a skill issue. I'm very careful to not sound rude or offensive here, but some of these reviews are very clearly left by maybe people who are not so internet savvy, and that's not their fault, of course, right? I completely understand how using the internet can be super daunting for older people, let's say, and this can really be quite confusing for them, etc., etc. But again, if you are planning to purchase patterns online, please take a moment, get someone to help you, get someone to give you a hand with it, friend, grandkid, kid, whatever, and to understand how to access things like this, because again, harmful. You not understanding how to download the pattern is not the fault of the seller. Once again, very sorry to say this, but it has to be said sometimes. It's your fault. Ensure that you have the knowledge, skills and capability to download a pattern and to locate the pattern once it's been downloaded, or to check your email, etc. before you do this, because again, these reviews are very, very harmful to small businesses. If you're not happy or you don't understand how to get a digital pattern, purchase a digital pattern and access it afterwards, maybe stick to magazines and physical patterns rather than digital ones to save stress in your life and in ours as designers. Thank you. This one I've got sort of 2 different ways of looking at. The yarn I bought didn't look like in the picture for thickness and colour. Hey, I'm not going to roast this person at all. I am a little bit tired of receiving yarn bought online that does not look really very similar to the pictures. I think that, okay, so when I take pictures of my items, often I adjust the brightness and saturation and things like that in Photoshop, if it's a static post on Instagram, let's say, for example, because I feel that a lot of the time when I take photos, even though I've got a good camera, etc., you do need to adjust those settings a little bit to show the item in its best form, let's say, best foot forward. That's one thing, right? What isn't good is when yarn brands adjust the saturation, hue, whatever, brightness on their yarns to such a scale that the genuine colour of the yarn is completely obscured. That is not good, because you are purchasing something and you are basically misleading, I'm going to say a little bit. I'm sorry if it's a little bit too strong, but whatever. You are misleading your customers. A few months back, I bought some yarn online, and it wasn't a sponsored or gifted package or anything like that. And I was really, really disappointed, because in the image it looked kind of like a mustard, like a nice yellowy mustard colour, which is one of my favourites to use. I was really excited to receive it because it was just lush. When it arrived, it was really muddy and dark. It did not look at all like in the image. I'm one of those people who's very kind of whatever, live and let live. It wasn't that expensive. I'm not going to go down the road of refunds. I hate sending things back. It's a real pain, isn't it? And I thought I'll be able to use this for something maybe in the future. But it is a problem. It can be a problem. Not the first time I've heard this. And yeah, you have the right to be annoyed, basically, if you're receiving things that are not at all like what you are expecting. So yeah, I'm on this person's side. Mega, definitely. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions about Stardew in the background, probably you've noticed, if you are familiar with the game, that I am using a very modded version. I don't like cheating in games at all, but I feel that with games like Stardew Valley, sometimes you need a little bit of help at the beginning. I'm playing with my daughter, by the way. That's the other little character running around. So if you'd like to know what mods I use, feel free to let me know, and I will drop them in the comments below. And I wish you all a wonderful day. I will do a part 2 of this. I'm actually sourcing, as we speak, some really nice, proper juicy reviews from various websites, so stay tuned for that. Have a really, really good day. Please pray that we don't have any more power cuts, and we will catch up in the next video. Bye bye.